Hey guys, it's Phil coming back at you with another video! Today, I'm back. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. Hopefully everyone's doing more practice and self-care, not letting one thought, one situation, one person take them outside of what they know to be true. And hopefully you're doing the next right thing, doubling down and doing everything that you know to be true. Even if you have all these different doubts and fears and everything telling you to do different things, lean into yourself and do exactly what you think is right. This video is going to be going over a free study group that is going to be on 6/3 at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Until I kick us out. They can't kick us out. I'm the host, and I'm going to get into how to sign up for that, and then I have some thoughts and motivation at the end of this clip. But before we get into that, the easiest way that you can rep and rock with me are the Sunday study groups that are coming up. They are on Sundays from 7 p.m. Eastern time until they kick us out, and the sessions typically are 3 hours, 4.5 hours, 5, sometimes 6 hours long, and again, they can't kick us out. I'm the host. I just say that just as kind of a joke, but the Sunday study groups are the easiest way for you to rep and rock with me and to get information, not to memorize it, but be able to recognize and apply it to go in the exam, kick it directly in the chest to get the job done. And the next Sunday study groups coming up are as follows. 528, going over the acronym and practice questions. The acronym: safety, feelings, assess, refer, educate, advocate, facilitate, and intervene. I'm going over the 6-step process that I recommend every single person keep in mind as we're breaking down the questions, as well as tips that I find most helpful. And then going through practice questions. And I always say, do not go into these sessions expecting to get every single question correct, because the questions that I construct and provide to you guys oftentimes are more difficult than the ones on the actual exam. And a lot of times people will come in those sessions and be like, man, Phil, I'm not getting as many right as I want to, or man, I'm getting more wrong, or how come this is not the case, because all these magic shortcuts and all these different things. So if you're trying to learn and become the best possible version of yourself, then the session that has these questions are going to help you be able to do so. The next one after that is 6/4, research, program development, and program evaluation, going over the steps and stages of research, going over the different types of research, the different time frames of research, consent versus assent, going over the steps and stages of program development, peeling it back, what are the types of program evaluation, the steps of program evaluation, validity as well as reliability, and going through practice questions related to those. And as I always say, do not come to these sessions expecting to memorize anything, but be able to understand it and apply it and recognize it to go in the exam, kick it directly in the chest, get the job done. Next one after that is 6/11, DSM-5 adults, going over different diagnoses, the personality disorder, schizophrenia spectrum, bipolar 1 versus bipolar 2 disorders, going over the medications, and then going over practice questions related to those. The next one after that is 6/18, community interventions, going over the type of advocacy, going over the stages of community organizing, going over case management, and different things that are going to be related to community, because a lot of times people get community mixed up. So this session is going to be able to give you different concepts and review practice questions that are going to allow for you not just to memorize anything, but be able to recognize it, apply it, go in the exam, kick it directly in the chest, get the job done. And again, if you want any information related to those, you can click the link down below in the description, which is the view more under the title, or send me an email at berda24@gmail.com. And if you're not able to attend the sessions live, it's 100% to receive the recording and the materials to view at your own leisure, because when you register for the live session, it'll send you an email directly with the materials that you can review, as well as I do still offer individual tutoring sessions. So if you want to rep and rock with me directly, you want to review practice questions, want to review concepts, want to review your preparation, feeling anxious, you're feeling nervous, or at any capacity, it's 100% possible to be able to do so. You can send me an email at berda24@gmail.com, or click the link down below in the description, which is the view more under the title, as well as the next one-day course is going to be on 6/10, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time until they kick us out. Again, they can't kick us out. I'm the host, and that session typically is going to be 12, 13, 14 hours long, and it's reviewing multiple different topics. The one-day course has been the most successful thing that I've been able to do, because it's, one, the most amount of time that you get with me, 2, the amount of information that I'm able to pack into that session, as well as 3, the questions that I tend to put into those sessions tend to be more difficult than any other questions that I tend to provide in any other sessions. And if you're like, Phil, what's the one-day course? The one-day course is going over the tips that I find most helpful, going over the most common reasons why people fail, a mixture of topics, subpoena versus court order, operant conditioning, also going over the personality disorder, schizophrenia spectrum, bipolar 1 versus bipolar 2 disorders, going over the medications, going over community, going over the acronym: safety, feelings, assess, refer, educate, advocate, facilitate, and intervene. The 6-step process that I recommend every single person to keep in mind as they're going through questions, as well as going through practice questions to tie it all together. And again, if you want any information related to the one-day course, you can send me an email at berda24@gmail.com, or click the link down below in the description, which is the view more under the title. And if you're not able to attend the session live, it's 100% possible to receive the recording as well as the materials to review at your own leisure. As well as if your exam is prior to 6/10, it's 100% possible to purchase a previously recorded version. Just send me an email. I'll give you the information and send you the information from there. As well as for those that do not know, Audible will continue to partner with me on my YouTube videos and my podcast. So if you want to support me as well as support them, go to my Audible affiliate link at www.audibletrial.com/fill-in-the-gaps. Sign up for the 30-day free trial. Signing up for the 30-day free trial is an easy way to support me, and it costs you absolutely nothing, and you can get yourself a free book. Audible is an easy way to get information on the go. So if you're busy like me and you still want to become the best possible version of yourself, as well as if you're an auditory learner just like myself, Audible is an easy way to get information and to broaden your horizons, to develop not just professionally but also personally, to become the best possible version of yourself. So again, if you want to support me as well as support them, go to my Audible affiliate link at www.audibletrial.com/fill-in-the-gaps. Sign up for the 30-day free trial, or click the link down below in the description, which is the view more under the title. And if you're wondering which book should I get with my free book fill, there are a couple that I'd recommend. The Alchemist, Archer, UOU, and Outliers. Each of them have different pieces of information that can allow for you to progress professionally, but also personally become the best possible version of themselves. And from the bottom of my heart, appreciate every single one of you guys that have already done that. And if you haven't already, hit the like button down below, which is the thumbs up button next to the title. It allows for other amazing social workers just like you to find my videos and information as well as comment down below if you plan to come to the free study group, or if you went in the exam, kick it directly in the chest to get the job done. If you have any concerns, any goals that you have, I don't know about anyone else, but I read every single comment and I try to respond to as many as I possibly can. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification next to it, because it'll send you an email every single time that I upload a video. And if you haven't already, check out my podcast at Fill in the Gaps on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify, because it'll provide you additional information that you can take with you on the go. And the free study group is again going to be on 6/3, so not this Saturday, but the Saturday afterwards, because I didn't want to conflict with Memorial Day and not have as many people benefit as they possibly can. So that session is going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to go on as long as we need to. And that study group is going to be different than the Sunday study groups. This study group is going to be having people that went in the exam, kicked it directly in the chest to get the job done, come back and share their experiences. It's going to also have people, if you're struggling, you're not feeling unmotivated, you failed the exam, you're unsure where to turn, what to do, it's a way that you can connect with me if you're not able to get in individual tutoring sessions, the paid study groups, etc., because I try to give back as much as I possibly can. If you want to attend the session on 6/3, you can go to my calendar at fillinthegaps.as.me, and it'll take you to my calendar. And I'm about to take you through the process of how to register, because a lot of times people are like, me and Phil, how do I register? Again, go to the website fillinthegaps.as.me, and it'll take you to my calendar. And once you go to my calendar, again, fillinthegaps.as.me, it'll take you to the overall calendar. You'll have the tutoring sessions, free study group, the one-day course, and the Sunday study group. So you want to go to the free study group if that's the only session that you're looking for. The only time, again, 6/3 at 3 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to change your time zone, you just have to click that and it'll change. You just click that, hit select and continue. You enter your name. For those that don't know, my name is Phil Luttrell, and my email is berda24@gmail.com. And you want to make sure that the email that you put into this box is correct, because if it's incorrect, you're not going to get the reminder emails, you're going to miss the session, and it's not going to be a good time. So making sure your information is correct, you want to hit complete appointment, and from there, this is going to be the link for the session. So here is the link, but at the end of the day, if you register prior to the session, you'll get a 48-hour, 24-hour, and 1-hour reminder email. So again, the process is go to my calendar at fillinthegaps.as.me. You go to the calendar, hit the free study group, hit appointment, click the only time that is available, hit select and continue, enter your name, check your email, and double check your email, hit complete appointment, and it should give you the confirmation email that you just seen. In addition to that, you'll get a 40-hour, 24-hour, and 1-hour reminder email. So it's a relatively easy process how to get into the study group. And again, this study group is going to be for people that have passed their exams, people that are struggling to pass their exams, people that are feeling anxious, unsure what to do, and getting information from me on how they can build themselves up to become the best possible version of themselves. So it's relatively easy of a process to be able to actually get into the study group. So those are the instructions on how to get into the free study group on 6/3 at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And as I stated, the study group is going to be different than the Sunday study groups, because the Sunday study groups are going to go over certain topics, go over practice questions related to those. We are going to go through a couple of practice questions in the free study group, but it's going to be primarily about people passing their exams, people struggling, unmotivated, unsure what to do. So if you're feeling that way, you're not sure where to turn, this study group is going to be for you. You want to directly interact with me, it's the easiest way to be able to do that, besides the Sunday study groups, as well as the individual tutoring sessions as well. And if that's all you were looking for, I guess that's the end of the video for you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys. But if you rock with me heavy, there are a couple of things that have been going through my mind related to the things that are going on in my life, but also interacting with people that are not being motivated or pumped up, or they're doubting themselves, beating themselves up about their exam. And as I'm thinking about it, a lot of times when people fail the exam, they are not where they want to be. They're unsure where they want to go or what they're doing, whether it's correct or incorrect. What I always have to remind people is you have to start treating yourself as if somebody that you care about, because if your friend was treating you the same way that you've been treating yourself, talking to yourself the way that you've been talking to yourself, or just beating yourself up in general, you would probably have a different perspective. You'd be like, whoa, step off, or man, it's not that serious, or it's not that deep, or it's okay, you can do something different, or you can get a different result. And that's where the word that comes to my mind is forgive. You have to forgive, because a lot of times when we're thinking about forgiveness, when we're forgiving someone else, it's related to someone else. It's like, you know what? We hear the word forgive. It's, all right, I'm going to forgive this person for what they've done, for what they've said, in order for me to move on. But the problem is, when forgiveness comes into the equation, you need to forgive yourself. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times when people fail the exam, or they reschedule their test, or they haven't studied as much as they want to, or they're not doing as well on the practice exams as they want to, then they start beating themselves up and tearing themselves down, and creating resentment, and degrading themselves and shaming themselves. And it's not leading to anything good, because guilt, shame is not going to lead you anywhere. Why? Because for a short while, if somebody guilts you into doing something of like, it'd be really nice if, or man, have you really been doing everything that you can, or are you sure that's the right move? For a short period of time, it's going to make you feel motivated. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to propel you forward. However, at the end of the day, mentally, you're still in the same position. Physically, you're in a different situation, but mentally, you've been told that your judgment, your guidance, and what you thought was right was incorrect. So my biggest recommendation, if you failed the exam, if you're beating up on yourself and you've never taken the exam, or you're not getting as many questions right, or you're unsure what to do, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And what I mean by that is, forgive means to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. Because at the end of the day, you're a human. I don't know about you, but if you're listening to this, you're probably going to have a heartbeat in your chest, and you're a human. So again, I'm generalizing, but imaginable that everyone listening to this is a human. Therefore, humans have an ability to make mistakes, have error, unsure or uncertainty about what they're doing. However, when you do something that you don't want to do, or you are not where you want to be in the timeline that you thought that you would be in, don't just throw your hands up and be like, it's over, or you know what, you should be doing this, or you should be doing that, or why aren't you doing this, or why aren't you doing that? You got to take it a step back and say, what were my intentions? What was the purpose for me doing this? What is the purpose for me not doing this? And what was I trying to accomplish by doing the things that I've done? And that's where forgiveness is reflecting on a situation, saying, what was my role? What was the role of someone else? Or what was the circumstances of the situation? Or what are some things that I don't have control of, that I tried controlling, that I can't? And then taking a step back and understanding that going forward, now that you know more, you're going to be more informed, and you can go further than you would have before. Because in order to have experience, you must experience something at some capacity. So therefore, in order for you to forgive yourself, you have to acknowledge that what you've done is the best that you could have with what you had and knew at the time. But in addition to that, you have to be willing to have the conversation that there are some things that I could have done in addition to that, but I can't go back and right the wrongs of my past by doing something different. Therefore, I'm telling you, in order for you to forgive yourself, you have to be willing to accept yourself, who you are and as you are right now. Not who you want to be in the future. Not, you know what, I'm going to pass the exam and everything is going to be great. Or I'm going to do this and everything is going to be great. Because if you're not willing to give yourself credit and give yourself grace to run the race to become who you're supposed to be today, regardless of what you accomplish, you're always going to be thinking, what's the next thing? What do I got to do now? Or what is this? Or you know what, this program told me I need to be getting X, Y, and Z score, or I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. But at the end of the day, was that the purpose? Was the purpose for you to get affirmed by someone that doesn't even know you? Was the purpose for you to be perfect? Probably not. Because practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. In order for you to become something, you have to do something differently than you would have before. And so when you're thinking about forgiveness, I am thinking when you forgive, you give yourself something that you need in order for you to become who you're supposed to be. So when you forgive, you give yourself what you need for what is meant for you, not someone else, not your friend, not your coworker, not a supervisor, not a program that is on the internet, not a Facebook group, not this person over here, but for you. Your journey is going to be different. Your skills are different. Your abilities are different. Therefore, you have to be willing to take a different path and talk to yourself differently in order to become a different person. Because every single day I hear, Phil, I'm not sure if I'm going to pass this exam, or I don't think I'm good enough, or Phil, I failed the exam. What's wrong with me? Versus, you know what? I went through an experience. I did the best that I could. There's some things that maybe have led me in a different path than I probably should have went down. And now that I have an understanding of what I can do, I can now stand for something differently because I'm no longer going to go under and take myself under and go to a situation that doesn't serve me, or a situation or skill and ability that I don't need to go down. I was talking to somebody the other day and they're like, Phil, I got this program, this program, this program, this program, this program, this program. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But what are they doing for you? Like, you got 5 programs. What are they doing for you? And if they're not doing anything for you, then why have them? Why even focus on them? Why even spend energy into something that you know it's not going to give back to you? Because in order for you to value something, you have to be willing to get something from it, or something has to be contributed at some capacity. So you have to be authentically you, but you also have to be willing to admit when you aren't doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. Understand and say, what was I supposed to be doing? Or why am I not doing that? So for example, even this video, this whole week, I'm like, you got to put out a video. You got to do this. You got to do that. But the entire week, I'm feeling off. I'm like, what's going on? But it's every single day, I'm like, get in the video, get in the video, get in the video, get in the video. But I'm like, okay, I deserve rest too. I can't tell people to rest and become their best if I'm not willing to do the same. So even though I wasn't being productive, I was producing the thoughts that I needed, or putting myself in the position that I should have been in, versus being like, you need to be on fire all the time. And why I'm sharing that with you is because not every day are you going to be pumped up and motivated. Not every day are you going to be the Energizer Bunny. Not every day are you going to accomplish everything that you want to, but every single day should lead you to where you want to go eventually. Every single day should be something that's taking you to a space and place that you thought you weren't supposed to get to, but you're there anyway. But when you get there, don't just be like, I'm just going to do it, and then that's it. No, give it everything you have, and key emphasis, everything you have at that moment. Because you may not have 100% energy, but if you give it the 50% that you got, that's still 100% that day. But the next day, you want to understand, what do I need to do in order to propel myself forward? Because I need to continue progressing, but sometimes I need to recharge. Sometimes I need to put myself on, like my cell phone, on the battery charger, and understand that I'm not going to be willing to do everything that I can 100%, but I got to be willing to go 100% when it's needed. But understanding that I deserve flexibility and fluidity like everyone else that I talk to. I deserve to give everyone else the grace that I give to someone else. I deserve to treat myself in the way that I treat someone else. So that's what I'm telling you, is my push is for you to start doing everything that you would do for somebody you care about, but also not having the butt kicking shoes on, not having that guilt and shame that is not taking you anywhere. Because if you're feeling like you have to guilt and shame yourself to do something, what is that going to do long term? Nothing. Because anytime that you think you got to do something, you're shaming yourself and being like, you should have done that already, or why haven't you done that, or why aren't you perfect? Well, because I'm a human. I'm still learning. I'm still progressing. I'm still getting the experience that I need in order to experience the things that I need to experience in the future. But I can't tell myself that I need to be further ahead than I already am right now, because I've not been in that situation long enough to get to that space. So that's what I'm telling you, is just because you haven't passed the exam doesn't mean that you're never going to. Just because you don't have that job doesn't mean that you're never going to get that job. Just because you're not as far along as you want to doesn't mean that you're not going to ever get there. But if you don't give yourself that space and place and all those different things that you would give to someone else, you're going to be forgotten and be giving up everything that you ever wanted. Because in order for you to get what you need, you have to be willing to look at what you have, be a good cultivator of that, and identify what do I need, not just to go through things, but to grow through them, and to show myself that if I show up, I'm going to glow up. But if I never show up, and if I never grow, and I never do the things that I need, I'm going to be in the same space and place that I've always been. And I'm looking at somebody else that's doing something different, and I'm glamorizing that, but I'm not glamorizing myself. I'm not glamorizing my situation. Because just because you don't think that your life is what you think it should be, somebody else is probably wishing they could be in that life. Somebody else is looking like, man, I wish I could do that. Or, man, that's really cool that you get to do this. Or, man, that's really cool that you went to college. Or, man, that's really cool that all of these things. But for you, it's just another day in the life. So don't take your life for granted, but give yourself everything that you know, because you need to grant yourself the space, the place, the opportunity, the ability, and the permission to do what you know is right, and not let one thought, one situation, one person, or anything, or something that you don't even think is going to give back to you, get into your life. You have to be willing to take yourself into a space that if your friend was doing the activity, you'd probably tell them, run, get away from that. If you are not where you want to be, you wouldn't tell them, just give up. It's over. You tell them, all right, what have you been doing? What have you not been doing? What do you think is going to be helpful? And making the decision from there. So that's my push. If you're beating up on yourself, you're not where you want to be, you're anxious, you're overwhelmed, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself of where you've come from. Forgive yourself what you're going through. Forgive yourself for not doing what you wanted to do, but also give yourself the room, give yourself the grace, give yourself the space, give yourself the ability, give yourself the guidance, give yourself the energy, give yourself the motivation, give yourself the opportunity, give yourself the time, give yourself whatever you need to do in order to get to where you need to go. Because when you forgive, you give yourself what you need in order for you to become who you're supposed to be. But if you continue doing what somebody else told you to do, or if you continue doing what somebody else is telling you, or you continue to guide yourself in a way that somebody else is telling you to do it, but when it comes to you, and the focus is on you, and the opportunity is given to you, you're like, you know what? I'm the wrong person, but you've been doing the right things. It's just you haven't been giving yourself the credit. You haven't been giving yourself the reflection. You haven't been giving yourself the time to absorb it. You've just been going through. So that's what I'm telling you, is in order for you to become who you're supposed to be, you have to let go of who you once were, and you have to let go of the things that you think are protecting you, because the only thing that you're guarding yourself from is your future, and to get into an opportunity that may scare you. But when you're scared, it simply means that you care about what you're doing, and you got to be willing to carry yourself further than you've ever gone. And it may not be a journey with everybody. It may not be a journey that you can rely on every single thing. But what you need to rely on is yourself, and stop lying to yourself and redoing and re-going through the same situations over and over. So you need to remind yourself that you're going through what you're going through right now in order to get to where you're supposed to go. And if things aren't going how you want to, that's okay. Because today is the best day that you can go and do something different. But if you continue to keep doing the same thing and continue to beat yourself up, guilt yourself, shame yourself, twist yourself around, and be like, you're not in the right position, it's not going to lead you into that longevity. You may be able to obtain it, but you're not going to be able to maintain it, because you can't guilt and shame and tear yourself down every single moment in order to build yourself up. It's the opposite of what your intentions are. So that's my push. Give yourself whatever you need. Forgive yourself for what you don't have or what you haven't been doing in order for yourself to get to that space and place that you deserve to be. Because everybody deserves to pass this exam. Everybody deserves the job they want. Everybody deserves the opportunity. Everybody deserves kindness. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves grace. Everybody deserves everything that they can imagine. But if you only continue to serve it to other people, you're going to start questioning what you deserve. So that's my push. Give yourself whatever you need. Start treating yourself like somebody you care about, or start treating yourself like you would treat a friend, but also forgive yourself for what you've been through, what you've been doing, what you've not been doing, and understand that where you're at right now is the best opportunity, best situation that you can be in. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hopefully that was helpful for at least one person. And again, do not let one thought, one situation, one person, or anything take you outside of what you know to be true. You need to understand that your truth is yours, not somebody else's, not uncertain. But if you're not doing the things that you know are going to be helpful, or if you're doing things that you know are sabotage, or you're doing things that they're not actually replicable or actually reliable, and you're not able to do the things over and over and over, there's no consistency, it's just one shot and then it's over, then be willing to give that up too. So that's what I'm telling you is do a reflection and do some spring cleaning within your thoughts, within your mind, within everything you've been doing in order to make room, because your gifts will make room for you, and you'll get to the spaces and places that you deserve to be, and not where somebody thinks that you should be, but you're going to be even further along than you've ever imagined. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you guys. You need anything, send me an email at berda24@gmail.com. Hope to see you in individual tutoring, Sunday study groups, the one-day course, the free study group, or at any capacity. Again, without you guys, there's no me, and every single day I get to do this. Every single day I get to talk to you guys. Every single day I hear that somebody goes in the exams, kicks it, directs on the chest to get the job done. It's a day that I'm grateful, I'm blessed, and from the bottom of my heart, appreciate every single one of you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm getting out here in peace. Out, guys.